Hello, good afternoon. Welcome everyone to episode 11 of The Focus. This week's very, very special guest is the delightful Dame, don't look like that, Dame Katrina Collier of this parish. Katrina, good afternoon. How the devil are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well indeed, but how I am is not important here. How you are as the guest, as the very special guest, is the all-important thing. That's the crucial thing. So before we go on to talk all about you, I just want to reference back very quickly. Last week we had a very special guest was Matt Alder. Matt Alder is also an author and speaker and very well known to all of our watchers. We had an amazing talk last week about building an audience and maintaining that audience. Matt is the host of the Recruiting Future podcast, and he's now at episode 209, I think, which is a hell of an achievement. So he's watched the ups and downs of building an audience. Obviously, we're talking about that with a view to how that translates to video. So this week, let's just recap on a couple of things that we know about Katrina Collier, author, speaker, founder of Disrupt HR in the UK, host of the Social Recruiting Show. How many episodes are you up to now, Katrina?
160 something.
Squillions.
I don't actually know.
Yeah. Ambassador for the Hope for Justice charity, and of course, Nora Judge. It's great to have you on the show. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
The focus of this week's show, with particular regard to Katrina's book, The Robot Proof Recruiter. Let me just face check. So it's good that we've got the props to hand. So Robot Proof Recruiter.
Of course.
Available on all your favorite online outlets, particularly Amazon. But
unless you'd like to get it in cardboard, then I get it from Hive.
Oh, in which case, absolutely. So if you're saving the planet, then go ahead.
Please save the planet, buy it at Hive.
Yeah, so the focus of this week's show with the Robot Proof Recruiter in mind is how video is one of the ways in which, so I often talk about rehumanizing the recruitment process. There are so many tech products out there that recruiters can hide behind, but this is a tech product that recruiters can literally get in front of. And one of the ways I think, and I'll ask you in a minute, one of the ways I think that recruiters can make sure that they are key and central to the recruitment process and show their value, show what they're good at. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
To set the scene, Katrina, as someone with heaps of experience in being on camera as a speaker at Disrupt HR events, and of course with your show, what would you say are the key is the key element for video in those different environments? Speaker, Disrupt HR, and your Friday show.
Oh wow!
What are the key things that you think about in terms of how do you make sure this thing's going to go well?
They're all completely different formats, aren't they?
Well, so
you're a speaker on a stage that's being recorded. You have a Friday show where you're interviewing people. What was the other one?
Disrupt HR.
Speaker on the stage again. So
so when you're
wow, I wasn't expecting that question. I thought we were talking about video for recruitment, not video for standing on a stage.
Well, they're all connected. Sorry, Carrie.
Well, no, they're not. They're not at all connected. Because when you are speaking on a stage, you're there to engage with the audience that's in front of you. You're not the slightest bit concerned about what's going on at the back of the room as far as being recorded. You're not even thinking about it. Yeah. Your job is to make sure the people in front of you are hearing what they need to be hearing, or at least getting the takeaways they need to be getting. And you're adding value to those people.
So as a speaker, whenever you're a speaker, you're focusing entirely on the people in the room and not anyone behind lenses?
Not at all. I mean, ask the job video guys when they record Disrupt. I don't forget they're there. Like you're not, as a speaker, your job is to ensure the people in front of you are getting value. So, when you talk about the Social Recruiting Show, our job there, Glenn Martin and myself as host, and obviously it used to be with Audra Knight, our job is to make sure that the guest gets an opportunity to speak, gets across what they want to get across. So our job is to ask questions that lead them, on a journey and a conversation in the direction that they want to go, to bring out the best in them. And again, to hope that the people listening are getting value from it.
So the value is the key, not so much the tech or the logistics.
No, it's about, well, whoever it is, whether it's the audience sitting right there in front of you, where I'm not really thinking about the video, or a situation like this. And again, it's more, are we providing something that's of value to the person listening? But really, it's about, are we making sure that our guest that we're interviewing is being seen in the best light? Because that's our job.
Yeah,
it's not about it's not about us in that situation.
Yeah. When you're the person on stage and being filmed, it'll be quite different to being the person who's organising the event and instructing the filmmakers to capture what they can of the speakers.
Yeah, I think it's quite challenging. So, for example, I was just recently filmed in Kiev. And they actually asked me to stay in a certain area. And of course I didn't, because I was fully aware if I stayed in that certain area just for the sake of the video, that the half of the room was so far away from me that they were never going to feel like I was talking to them. So I kept walking off frame, and the video is hysterical. But I wasn't interested in how the video was going to look for the 20 people that watch it later. I was more interested in the 400 recruiters sitting in front of me and making sure that they got value from my presentation and they felt I was talking to them and we were having a conversation. So though I hear what you're saying, and that's probably not the best advice, I think the video people should be much more aware that the speaker is going to walk across the stage because they want to engage with everybody that's in front of them, because that's their 20 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever it is. And I will always continue to do that and annoy the hell out of the videographer.
So from that perspective, the video
sitting in
people
the dark
video people should allow for the fact that the speaker is going to be using the full space. And
I think so.
And frankly, if they know Katrina Collier is going to be speaking, then make double that size. I've seen you.
Well, to be honest, I'm much more interested in about the people right there in front of me and that they're getting value. That's my job. My job is to educate and to inspire and to improve the world of recruitment. And I'm going to do that with the people I can see sitting in front of me.
Yeah. So I've seen you speak more than a few times. And
sorry about that.
You're very good and a very confident speaker. And with people in front of you, then you don't hold back. And you do walk around the room. You'll go up to the back. You'll throw things at people.
Not quite as bad as Steve Levy, but I do wander around the room.
Do you still use your little orange man?
No. He's here though.
Okay.
No, because I can no longer get them printed with the searchologist on their bellies.
But you used to throw those around.
I did as prizes, not at people. But I could throw books at people. That would be painful.
So from a filmmaker's point of view, if someone wanted to capture you doing one of those talks, then they would have to be pretty light on their feet, because you could do anything.
Well, your son has never had a problem. He just moves the camera.
Yeah.
They're usually at the back of the room, so when you move, they just follow you.
For the benefits of the viewers, my son is Kier, who's a filmmaker who often works with Katrina on the Disrupt HR events.
He has indeed. Up in Glasgow and Edinburgh.
Yeah. So when you're going to other events that you see speaking going on, and you're thinking, right, well, from a video point of view, this would be great to transmit to people outside of the room. I know you're focused on the people in the room, but more and more so, event organizers are thinking, well, my audience is the people in the room, but I want to push this wider. So I would like to ask the speaker to acknowledge the people who are watching the talk on catch up. So if there's
I have never been asked to do that.
So Disrupt HR events they're not unlike TED Talk type events, where it's a short, passionate talk in a short space of time, and it's all filmed. So you've got job video guys filming the content, and that's going to go out there. And you would hope the people who can't get along to the event can watch the film. But you want your speakers to talk to the room, and for the video people to capture what that is.
Yeah, and that's what they've done. I've just downloaded London's from last week. And I'm gradually going through and putting the front on them and stuff. And they're all about the people in the room, and you can watch all of those videos. You can actually see all the Disrupt HR videos around the world. But I imagine that everybody is just focused on the people in the room.
Yeah.
But again, I wasn't expecting this conversation to go in this direction, because it's not. You were talking about actual video content from a recruitment point of view, and now we're talking about. Well, I'm a bit confused.
Yeah, and so we're going to get onto that right now.
Okay.
There is a running thread through what we're talking about, and video is obviously it's a big.
You're not winning on this point. I am not going to say to any speaker on a stage with an audience in front of them to focus on the video man at the back of the room. You focus on the audience and keep them engaged. That's your job.
Okay.
So you're not going to win that point.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Even if it's live streamed around the planet, I don't care. Your job is to focus on that audience in front of you and make sure they're happy.
I wouldn't dare say that you were wrong. Not to you. Anyway, I'll wait.
That's okay. You can say it all you like later. You can write it in the comments. I don't care.
So when we're talking about video being used in recruitment, and I do think so. Disrupt HR is HR, it's recruitment, it's employment, is work, and that is video being used in recruitment. It's not necessarily job advert, but video can be used for lots of functions. And so
Disrupt HR is not about recruitment at all. It's about anybody in the world of work talking about how they'd like to improve the world of work. They're there for the audience in front of them. They're not there to recruit. They're adding value. They're not talking about jobs. They're not talking about their brand. They're not talking about anything but how they can improve the world of work. Yeah,
I do think there's a great education in watching the catch-up videos for Disrupt HR, though. I like watching them. I don't watch them all. But there's if I hear that there's one that's been especially good, then I'll look it up and I'll watch it. So I think there's an education there, and video for
sure, but it's
educational purposes is great. Yeah. So again, just before I move on from that, what makes a great Disrupt HR talk from your perspective?
I would say because you have the 20 slides that rotate every 15 seconds automatically. I think the best ones are full of just pictures and GIFs, which I ask them all to do, but of course, people do what they're comfortable with. I think Sue Ingram gave a brilliant one. I can't quite remember the title of it, but it was along the lines of, promote managers and they die, or promote people to be manager and they die. And it was the pictures dropped in exactly on her points. Yeah. So she emphasized a word with the image behind her. Yes. And then that works really well. But GIFs are absolutely brilliant for that.
Yeah. I saw, there was one in particular I saw in Edinburgh and Glasgow, and I'm forgetting the name of the woman now, the Australian woman, who's also done TED Talks. What was her name? But she was really good because she was a really proficient speaker, and she had a great topic, and her talk fit in perfectly with her slides.
They can do. My problem with the Professional Speakers Association is a lot of the speakers don't they laugh at their own jokes. They lack that authenticity that I think people are looking for. Yeah. There's that, like when you get the polished PR BS from senior management saying, oh, we're such a fantastic company, come and work for us, and everyone watches it and goes, what a load of palaver. Yeah. And I think it can come across like that, where they've just lost who they are a little bit too much. And that's my issue with some of those associations. They really push on, don't. And I think the whole fun with the thing with Disrupt is it should be light and it should be fun, and it doesn't matter because the slides don't change when you expect them to. Yeah. So I actually prefer the much more gritty ones, the much more real. I've had some amazing first-time speakers as well who've done a much better job, I feel. Yeah.
I have a post-it on the side of my screen that says this. Because I do, an awful lot, maybe more so than is strictly necessary, and I should look at the camera more.
I don't think people mind.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at you, not the camera, so.
When people see,
I think it's this kind of format. I think if you are doing a piece that's direct to camera, of course. And if I was doing, so you will have seen some of my confessions from the sofa videos, for example, and I delivered them straight to camera. I was looking up there, not here, because my camera is on the top of the screen. Yeah. But it's a very difficult thing to do when the person you're talking to is sitting just below.
People can be very critical of themselves when they see a film back and they think, oh God, did I say that? Did I too much? And they notice things that the audience don't notice. So people can be, they can give themselves a hard time when they see video.
Again, I think and I go back to that, talking about these professional associations, they will get people to remember a script. And I've just found that out about the TED Talks, and it's put me off them completely, that you have to learn your entire 20-minute presentation and get up and present exactly what you submit. And it just takes, I mean, in my opinion, it takes the fun and the realness out of it. And that, so I will, when I'm giving a presentation, I'll refer to previous speakers. Yeah. And if I'm doing a TED Talk, I can't do that, can I? Because I didn't write that down on my script, so I mustn't say. And I don't know, it sounds like, I'm trying to remember. And you'll see this almost perfectionism trying to come in, where someone's trying to remember, oh gosh, what did I say? Oh, I have to remember that. Yeah. And I just think it takes from that. We are looking for genuine, which is why we love an iPhone video. We're happy with just something rough and ready. Yeah.
I know that there's a real freedom that comes from putting your notes aside and just speaking from the heart. You might end up going over time. You might end up forgetting to talk about one or two points that were important. But it is very, very important to be as authentic as possible and to give your real self. If you just come up and read a script, then you don't really need to be there. You could have anyone doing that. So on that point, again, getting back to the robot-proof recruiter, when recruiters are putting together a video, and it might be for a job advert, it might be for a video that's talking about their division within their organization, it might be a video talking about a campaign they're working on. What would you see as the attractions for recruiters in using video, and maybe the bumps in the road that they might see as, I'm not sure I should do that?
Well, I'm going to use so the example that is on page 43 of the Robot Proof Recruiter, available from all good bookstores.
Page 43.
That is it on page 43 now? I've said that, I might be on the wrong page. No, it is. So talking about recruitment agency, I think when you are a recruitment agency, you need to show that you're adding value to really stand out. And one of the people I think does it extremely well is Mark Hopkins from Thomas Lee. And what he does is he will have been asked a question by a candidate at some point in the previous weeks before, and he will put together an answer of that, which is what this is about. And you can see them all on his YouTube channel, Thomas Lee Recruitment. But the reason I like it so much is he will do an outtake video of all the times he's trying to present it, to create this snappy 1 to 2 minute video where he's screwed up completely, and then he puts that together and puts it out. So everyone just feels endeared to him because it's just him going all over the place. And it makes it fun. And it's just how we are. We're not polished and perfect all the time. So I love what he does.
Okay, I just put a link to Mark's LinkedIn and the right there.
Yeah, I mean, he kept going, I can't believe you're putting me in my book. But it was like, yeah, I am, because I love how gritty you are. I love how real you are. I feel like when I'm talking to him, I'm talking to him. When I watch his videos, it's him. There isn't this pretense to be somebody other than who he is. And he's so passionate about helping candidates. He works in a candidate shy market. So, he's sensible in what he's doing. But the other one is on looking at more of a job ad kind of thing. On pages 116, 117, I did a comparison of 2 different videos, and there are links that you can go and watch them and see them. One is from a US staffing agency looking for drivers, and then the other one is actually from Yodel. So Ben Gladhill had organized those. And I mean, I love it. Like, my name is Penny Wiggin and I'm a delivery driver for Yodel. The best thing about working for Yodel for me is the freedom. And then she kind of goes on to say, I am satisfied, but I get tired. And she actually says, I get tired. But I love the fact she said feel, like I feel like this. Whereas the other video was just so cold and so, we're truck drivers. And also there was no diversity in the video, which, to be fair, there are very few female truck drivers. However, it was just like, you still could have put a male and a female in this advert.
I love the Yoda videos too, and they are very authentic. I had a delivery from Amazon just the other week.
In their new plastic bags, or were they still in paper?
I do not recall, but the man delivering it, I was about to speak that day with Ben Gledhill. And I said, I'm speaking to someone from Yodel later on. And we got to chatting about video, and it turns out that he'd been asked to the next day go and film for one of their employer branding videos.
Yeah.
So the delivery guy coming to my door in Glasgow was going to be filming the next day, and he was a bit about it, but he thought it'd be a laugh, it'd be fun. But the Yodel videos are very authentic.
I think they are, and I think Yodel has improved as a company out of sight as well.
Yeah.
They've implemented the technology that's made it easier for the drivers and the people receiving the parcels. So the people receiving the parcels are happier, which makes the Yodel couriers happier.
Yeah.
Which means that the video, I genuinely believe there are two different people. There's a man and a woman. I like both their videos. They're just real.
Yeah. So when recruiters are thinking about, say a recruiter was filming a job advert, for example, and thinking, oh, I'm not sure I can do this. I look terrible on camera. I think I don't sound good. How can I do this? Why should I do this? What would be the thing that you would say to them in order to get a grip and get on with it?
Yeah, well, clearly I don't care about lighting, so please make sure you care about lighting. I don't. Stephen has his light on. I'm like sitting next to the window and block myself out quite regularly. But also it's about energy. So I would not do any videos today. Right now I'm sitting here in quite a lot of back pain and very tired, and it would be the worst thing in the world for me to do a video. So pick the time of the day where you're awake. Don't do too many takes. So if you do a couple of takes and you start finding your energy's gone, well, stop. You might need to come back to it. But I have always, certainly when I put my training videos together, and back in the day, I haven't done any recently, I would make sure I was feeling refreshed, a couple of coffees in me. I would actually physically jump up and down. Then I would sit down and I would deliver like I was delivering to the ceiling, and it comes across how I'm talking to you now.
Yeah.
Because you're delivering to dead air. And it's exactly the same when you deliver a webinar, which some people will be doing. You are delivering to dead air. There's nobody there. So you have to deliver like you're hitting the ceiling. Yeah. And then it comes across.
You're absolutely right.
I physically need to move. If you can stand up, stand up. I actually have a stand-up desk, so I can do that. I'm just sitting sideways, so I can't do it right now. But you can stand up. And watch what's behind you. Maybe not having a picture coming out of your head, but it's very cute. It is a very cute picture, which you normally only see the bottom of. So it's like stuff like that as well.
So I'm absolutely with you on the energy. On the energy side, I've seen so many videos where it's clear this is maybe the 10th take that they've done, or they really don't want to be doing it. They'd rather do somewhere else. And
I mean, to be honest, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Like, nobody's making you do it. You might need to get somebody that is happy to do it. I found, strangely, it was when Snapchat came along that I actually started getting really relaxed. So the Instagram stories and Snapchat have made me a lot more comfortable. I do think it's harder for women. When I get asked to a video, I'm like, oh God. So I've got to go and put makeup on my face and put mascara on. I mean, not today because I'm, again, I've blotted myself out with the light so you can't see me. But, when I'm doing like a professional 2-screen video, I kind of cringe because it's a lot more work for us. You guys only get to brush your hair or clean your teeth, we got to go put a face on.
What's left of it?
Yeah, no comment. It just makes it that little bit harder. However, I think do watch yourself back, because you will get better. And I am now very comfortable. I can now, so my confessions from the sofa, they were done in one take. I could sit there and talk to camera for 10 minutes and it not come across as tired as I'm coming across right now.
So on that topic, I've noticed, Katrina Collier, that you are a female person, and it hasn't escaped me. What would you say are the particular challenges for women on camera that guys just wouldn't appreciate? You said about the makeup and getting yourself ready and so on. Are there any other aspects that idiots like me are just not picking up on that we should be taking into account that needs to be done for recording?
There are two trains of thought going on in my head. One is we are under a lot more pressure from the beauty industry, and the hilarious thing is the older you get, the less you care. Like, I seriously don't give a shit anymore. That said, yes, I do have to put my face on occasion, which is painful. But the other one is if I ask a female to speak or to do a video, they will often tell me they have nothing to say, which I find really interesting. And a man will just jump and say, I do. I can, oh, no problems. I'll do disrupt. And women are like, oh, I have nothing to say. What am I going to talk about? It's like, give me a break. You've been in your job for 3 years. You have something to say. So that little voice that pops up and tells you you're not good enough, it actually is louder in men's voices, in men's heads, because they tend to jump when they don't have the skills to do stuff. But we women seem to believe it's far more us, that we've got this fear of being found out, and actually it's actually stronger in men. So just tone the voice down and give it a try.
Is it the thought that women are being judged more harshly than men on camera?
Yeah, by women.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be interesting to isn't this show business? Possibly. It'd be interesting to hear what Debbie and Carrie think about that, actually, because they both know how blunt I am.
No,
I do think that I think women are very harsh with each other, which is disappointing.
Yeah.
There's like, I've come off stage before, and I gave an opening keynote at a conference, and I got my point across, and the room was electric, and I come off stage and I go to the bathroom, and a girl said, "Wow, thank you. You've given me confidence to wear a tight dress," which I think was indicating to me I shouldn't have been wearing that tight dress. And it was like, wow, that was it. 45 minutes on stage, gave you my all. What did you get out of it?
Yeah.
And I've had it before as well. I actually know I missed out on another piece of work because their only feedback was great dress. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I've just given you 45 minutes of my life, and all you got out of it was great dress. Carrie, downward angle camera, yes, unless you have a low cut top on, I agree. Women are socialized to be passive personalities and self-doubters to keep us in our places. I think, Debbie Easterday, you are being a little bit sarcastic there.
God help the man who suggests that to Katrina Collier.
Yeah.
So
but I've done a lot of work. I wasn't like this. I've had to let go of the child abuse. I have had to heal. I've had to find self-love. I think that's a lot of it. I think that if women were a lot more self-caring and self-compassionate towards themselves, that it'd be much easier for them to get on camera. But I go back to the practice. One of the things I've learned over the years, because to me, delivering to camera and delivering on stage are not so different in the respect of you're still being judged, is to not read the feedback forms. I do not read them. The last one I read was so insulting and so pointless and didn't help me grow in any way, shape or form that I stopped reading them. I watched myself back and I go, you're a bit rude, Stephen, there at the beginning. Maybe you shouldn't do that next time. Stuff like that.
I would posit that recruiters in their everyday life have to be relatively brave. They need to do things that other folk might not want to do, or such as calling candidates and let them know, unfortunately, you didn't get the job. That it takes a bit of a steel to make that call, or to maybe advise a client on things that are very good. Don't ghost me.
Thank you, Louise Trance. This is like treasured. I should have it on. I don't actually think calling a candidate and telling them they didn't get something is actually a difficult thing to do. Calling them and ghosting them, and the knock-on effect of doing that is much more detrimental.
My point in saying that recruiters need to do things that other people might shy away from is that video would be one of those things, and you should just bite the bullet.
I actually think the main problem is that unless you are in a startup company or a small company or you work for yourself, it's vanilla. They're just like, branding gets in the way and they become really boring videos, which I think is a real shame. So how can I actually think that's more of a problem than, so it's like trying to do a video where you're talking about the job where probably you haven't done a good enough intake from chapter 5, by the way. So didn't write chapter 5, crowdsourced. Get your intake right, then you'll get your video right, which will be much more interesting.
So how does a recruiter differentiate themselves by using video? If your competitors are putting out text-based adverts and you're recording videos for your job, in terms of being robot-proof, you say that's one of the ways that they can insert themselves in the process?
Well, robot proof to me means that you stop putting the technology between yourself and the candidate. So you actually talk to them and treat them like a human being the whole way through the process, and you never once forget that even from that spam email that you got, like, oh God, I can't believe someone just applied that role with no skills. There's still a human being behind that application.
Yeah.
But it's having some personality. So Lee's just written on the side here, where's your Springer Spaniel? Your online image isn't complete without him next to you, right? So people know me for my spaniels, so I share silly little videos on the other sites about me and my dogs, and that's just, they're a crucial part of who I am. So it's that sort of stuff. I think it's letting people in a bit, like just being yourself. And it's really nice, because the world of work has changed, and in the whole 27 whole years I've been working in the world of work, the proper world, as opposed to the part-time stuff before, but that you can bring your whole self to work. So if you want to stand out, you just need to be yourself.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
It could be called your brand, Lee, or it could be, it's just like looking like a recruiter worth talking to. There's a whole chapter on that, like just look worthy of someone's time and their trust and their career, and you're holding their career in your hands.
While we're talking, I'm going to share my screen very briefly. While we're talking, I thought
we were out of time.
We're almost out of time, but we're not.
I love him.
So I'll turn the volume down a little bit, but this is Mark Hopkins that Katrina was referring to earlier on. So Mark has a prodigious output of video content.
Yeah. And, I love the way he puts the things like over his head. That just makes me laugh.
He's funny. He's authentic. You know exactly who he is. So if you were a candidate involved in the recruitment process with Mark, then you know who you're dealing with. You're not going to be thinking, well, my CV's gone into that black hole. I'll never see.
Well, it's like this. I get this question like all the time. A robot's going to take over from recruitment, and you just like, there are still cashiers in the bank and in the supermarket for mundane transactions of withdrawing cash, depositing cash, or buying groceries. Why? Because we want to deal with a human. Are we really going to hand our career to a robot? So even if you're working like freelance consultancy, you still want to know you're going to pay your bills. So
what I'm just going to show here is Mark's channel. So on Mark's channel, what he's got is obviously he's got acres of content in there, and all of that content, it's all quite unique in itself, but in aggregate tells you about him, his organization, what they do, how they do it, and it lets you know who you're dealing with.
Carrie, he's a recruitment agent. He's a one-person company, so he's got a lot of freedom. But he answers the questions that his candidates give him. So I'm not quite sure how a jet engine works is one of those, but he gets like typical interview questions, how to answer them on the bottom right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's just awesome. Yeah, you're right. No red tape, but why are we putting red tape? It's like, it's a shame that we can't. Like, I'll go back. So 390 years ago, when I worked in the recruitment agency world, people came to me. They didn't come to Spring Technology. They went, I'm coming to Katrina Collier. I know what I'm going to get if I work with her on this job. So client, candidate, they came to me. So I could still differentiate myself within the agency by being the blunt Australian that I am. But it's that, like, let people have a bit of freedom. We allow them to use email and the phone, and so it's don't put it out vanilla.
Absolutely. So as you rightly pointed out before, we are coming close to end of time. Before we finish up, Katrina,
are you giving me bubbles, or is there a weird thing going on with my video camera? I can just see bubbles going up the screen. Might be dust floating around here.
Could be dust. But might be pixie dust. That's what it'll be.
Maybe.
Yeah. So before we finish up for the week, Katrina, are there any final tips that you'd want to leave us with regards to robots, recruiters, and video?
It's all in the book. There are 244 pages. It's jam-packed. I do know some of the people in the side channel have read it. We'll be happy to give you a review if you'd like a personal opinion. The royalties from the Robot Proof Recruiter go to Hope for Justice charity. So I do plug it more than I probably would if it was lining my pocket. And that is an amazing charity aiming to end modern-day slavery. So,
and a better cause you could not think of. Just personally, from my perspective, I really like your writing style. It's easy to read. I I don't read a lot of business books, mainly because, well, I don't read far into them. I get them and I don't read the whole book. And it's mainly because the writing style is quite awkward and clumpy. But yours is very conversational and it reads.
Yeah. I wanted it to be conversational. I was amazed because it is Kogan Page, they're a proper publishing company. Yeah. I was impressed they let me keep the look like a recruiter worth talking to and not use marketing speak. So I was really thrilled about that. But importantly, they let me bring in all the other voices that are in there as well. Yeah. It's not just my opinion. So
fantastic.
I like that idea, Lee, that I have a feel. Do you know what I think it is? I think it's the sunshine coming through the window and dust. Because I've got these dogs. There's always dust everywhere. We're so professional here at the Searchologist.
So on that note, can I just put my hand up and say I managed to get a couple of words in. Thank you very much for being my guest.
Pretty sure I didn't say anything for the first 2 minutes. I just suggest you watch it back.
That's my wife always says to me, will you shut up at the start because the guest is sitting there waiting to speak and you look like a bloody idiot.
And you're talking about the previous show and I'm sitting here going, well, I like your wife. I can't wait to meet her. Yeah. I'm coming up to Scotland just to meet your wife.
You've met me. You met number one son, so you have to get the full connection.
And you only have one son, though.
Sorry?
Don't you only have one son?
No, I've got 3.
Oh gosh, sorry. I thought number one son was a joke. Never mind.
No, number one is that's his order of rank. But so we're talking about the previous guest at the start. Talking about the next guest now. Unfortunately, sadly, due to a change in programming, we are not able to have the lovely Audra Knight next week, which would have been perfect to have Audra the show after Katrina. But unfortunately,
I missed my co-host.
Yeah, Audra is absolutely fabulous in countless ways. But we will have Audra back another time. Just our calendar went crazy, so it can't happen. So I'm going to have to find as good a guest.
I think you should find Mark Hopkins.
Do you know, actually, that's a great idea.
Mark, a great idea.
If you're listening, Mark, there's an open invitation. Please come on the show. That would
Mark, if you haven't been listening, you haven't heard about the crash I had on you and your videos. Don't tell your wife.
Well, if Mrs. Hopkins is watching this, no, let's not go there. Mark,
no, let's not go
I would absolutely have Mark back on the show. Katrina, you have been a spectacular guest.
Thank you.
I think probably the
there you go. John Rose wants Mark on. Has John Rose been on?
Not yet.
John Rose has been on my show, which is quite more worrying.
I was about to pay you a compliment there and you cut me off.
Yeah, whatever.
Katrina, I think you've been the best guest we've had so far. Well, apologies to all previous guests. You're definitely the best guest we've had so far. Next week, let's see if we can get Mark on. Please, everybody, join us then. Katrina, thank you. Thanks, everyone who's been commenting on the side. Thanks, everyone who watches the replay. And I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Adios.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.